For the second annual State of the City and State of the Schools, a couple years ago, Dr. Caleris and I were meeting and we said, hey, let's do this event together. So last year was the first time we were able to do it together, and we're doing it once again here. So I want to thank Dr. Caleris and his team for being here, as well as so many from the city side. Also want to thank our state rep, Representative Glassburn, for being here with us. Also, Chase is here with Representative Max Miller's office and several others that are here. So we're so grateful to have council members here. Our council president is here, as well as a couple other council members, and also Mary Schreiber from across the street at the library. So thank you so much for joining us here today. And Brooklyn is a great place to live and to go to school. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that today. And I'm going to have Dr. Caleris come at this time, and he will start things off for us.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate the opportunity. And since Mayor Van Kirk's taken over, it's been a great relationship with the city. And we just love doing these events because it is so integral that the city and the school relationship. So I want to thank the mayor, I want to thank all of our council people here. Again, always look forward to presenting and really talking about all the great things going on in our city. Okay. To drive the work that we're doing in the district. I will give and I want to thank the administrative team here. Allison Rafter, one of our board members, is here. They do an amazing job of keeping me out of the way, and they do the work, and they do a great job in kind of focusing the work in the district on a daily basis. Going back, one of the things that we've really taken a hard look at over the last really 3 years, I will say, is our literacy. It is fundamental when we get them in preschool, kindergarten, first, second, third grade, that those literacy skills are immediately apparent for our students. How literate, how well they do in reading and writing, how well they comprehend really drives their success down the road. And so I will say, and this is one of the most impressive stats, I think, again, taking that student achievement, that report card, but really digging into what does that mean. You can see in 18-19 school year, we started off about 23% literacy rate in our K through 3. Over the past 5-6 years, we've grown to almost 77%. Now, there's lots of statistics that go into that data. What this shows me is that our students are growing at an exponential rate and making the progress they need to make. These literacy statistics are one of the things that we really focus in on in the district. This really drives the work we're doing and really helps us define how successful students are. So kudos to our early literacy staff, our teaching staff, our classified staff who work with our students on a daily basis in terms of some of this literacy work. Caleris Career Center is one of the career center that our students travel into or funnel into in 11th grade. This really helps define and really hones the skills for our students looking to enter that workforce, looking to enter the trades. Caleris has over 20 programs that our juniors and seniors go to attend, and it's one of the hallmark career centers in the state of Ohio, really preparing students for that next step. College Credit Plus, advanced placement, is an opportunity for our students to earn college credit while attending high school. And this happens in a lot of different venues. It happens within Brooklyn High School. It happens when students attend Cleveland State or Tri-C on a full-time basis, or it happens where students take advanced placement courses. These college credits translate into money for students. Our students last year earned 523 college credits that they will get when they walk out of Brooklyn High School. It's an amazing program. It's available to all public school students in the state of Ohio, but I will say that our students do particularly well in taking advantage of these college courses while in high school. Funding has unfortunately been a topic of discussion throughout Northeast Ohio and the state over the past 6 months. And one of the things that we're always very aware of in the district is our financial stability and making sure that we're using our district dollars to their fullest. 3 years ago, we embarked on a master facility plan looking to renovate Brooklyn High School and the stadium complex. Last year, in March of 2024, the community supported the passage of that $20 million bond issue, and I could not be more thankful from my perspective of that support. It's going to allow us to really transform and hit some of the areas that in need of renovation. I always look at renovations versus new build. This renovation really will help us in terms of really trying to not impact the general fund as much as we can. One of the things that the board had talked about prior to the March 2024 bond issue was, are we using our district dollars in an efficient manner to improve the facilities prior to going to the community for that bond issue ask? I am happy to say that over the last 5 years, you can see there in the screen there, we've invested about $3.4 million into capital projects and infrastructure throughout the district. That doesn't include technology, upgrades, things like that. That is just in the infrastructure of the district. It was very apparent from the board's perspective that they did not want to build a new building, right? That comes with lots of different problems. That comes with talks of the tradition and culture of our district. We decided on a renovation. I think that was the absolute best decision we could make. That being said, we have been able to avoid, outside of that bond issue, which the bond issue can only be used for the renovation and construction projects. We cannot use that money, those funds generated, for general operational costs. Cannot use it towards supplies, student programming, co-curricular activities, staffing. That bond money can only be used towards that infrastructure capital projects. That being said, the district has not had to come to the community for new money in quite a long time. This May, on May 6th, issue 19 will be on the ballot for the public's consideration. This is a no new tax levy regarding the district operations. Couple facts surrounding issue 19, and again, I'm up here in terms of just presenting that factual information in terms of what does it mean in terms of cost to homeowners, cost to the district, those types of things. If passed, issue 19 would generate approximately $1.7 million annually for our school district. This would not raise taxes, and this again would be used to generate funds for services in terms of staffing, programming, operations, technology, things like that. One of the hot button topics over the past, I would say, 6 months is everybody's property taxes. Everybody's, the evaluation increase that many communities like Brooklyn have had happen to them. I will say, just from a factual basis, the school district did not receive a windfall as a result of those higher tax evaluations. And again, this is an approximate estimated value, but the district, as a result of the increase in property values, has only received about a $280,000 annual net increase in revenue from those tax evaluations. On a $25 million budget, that's a small portion of what we do on a daily basis from our budget perspective. So just from a factual standpoint, that's the increase we have seen over this new evaluation. Some kudos to our city council, our city officials, our mayor. When the new pre-K 7 was built back in 2013 through 15, part of any bond issue, any new building is paying permit fees to the city. And I'm very happy to report I spoke with Mayor Van Kirk about this a while ago, and through city council action, the city waived those permit fees. I will tell you from an approximate cost savings, that's a $200,000 savings to the district, to the bond fund, to the project that we're able to invest back into the project of renovating the schools, renovating the different areas. So kudos and a thank you to Mayor Van Kirk and our city council for helping us out with that. It's been very important from my perspective that the district has to be aggressive in securing external funding sources to provide different programs. Back in 2014, when the field was installed, it was an approximate cost of about $1 million out of the bond issue. Well, when I walked back in 2020, a replacement of a new field was going to cost somewhere around, let's just say $700,000. That would have come from general fund money, right? This new bond issue that we have that was passed in March did not account for the installation of that new track field. Those fields are wonderful. However, you're required just from the life of the field to replace those every 10 to 12 years. We're getting close to that life of that field. We applied for an NFL grant. We had begun saving annually for the field, and I'm happy to report that we received $250,000 from the NFL to replace that field. So on top of the bond issue that is happening over the next 3 years, we will be replacing our stadium field turf this summer. Very excited about that. Another grant that we went for last year is the Ohio Career Technical Education Equipment Grant. You will say, well, we're not a career center. We're not, but however, we have some programming within our program of study that really is focused on career and technical education. We got the grant to the credit of our administrative team and staff, $266,000 grant to fund different career technical education programs in the district, of which about $180,000 went to renovating our computer lab at Brooklyn High School. So again, these external funding sources are really key to our philosophy in terms of how we can continually evolve and bring new programming into the district. We do have 2 grants that we have currently applied for. We have an advanced energy fund through the state of Ohio, which approximately $800,000 we've applied for to help with some of the HVAC and boiler upgrades at our high school. And then our academic team, our teaching and learning team, has applied for round 2 of it's called CLSD grant, which is a very literacy-based grant. So that's in the amount of about $700,000. So we're hoping that we can continue to be competitive with grants and bringing in those external sources to our district. One of the things I think we really focus on in the district is making sure that not only on the academic and side of things, our students are engaged in the class or outside of the classroom, whether that's clubs, athletics, volunteer opportunities. It is essential that our students, our staff, see our district as a big part of our community success. Right? I often talk about, we are not 2 entities together. We are together, city, school district, and it's very important that our kids learn, even at an early age, how important it is to be active and to give back to your community. This is some statistics we've been gathering over the last 4 years. You can see that our students are increasingly being engaged in outside activities. This includes the musical. We started a new esports club. We're hoping that our esports club is actually a varsity sport next year. We've started bowling in the last 2 years. Very proud to say we had our one of our girl presentations last night, but from Rocks Girls, we started a girls flag football team this year, and I'm just like, my philosophy is whatever we can do to provide kids opportunities outside the classroom is essential for their success. These are our partners, and again, I'm sure I've missed some individuals and groups on this from a partnership standpoint, but these are our educational groups. Mary from the library is here. I know I don't have that on there, but the library is essential to our success. So a thank you to our educational partners. Another external grant that we received last year, conversation with our Director of Pupil Services, Mrs. Jones. We unfortunately have a need to help some of our families and students with food insecurity. And we were presented with the opportunity to apply for a grant from the Martha Holden Jennings Foundation, in which it was twofold. To incorporate curriculum into our community living class with students that will be transitioning to the workforce after high school, but also providing an opportunity to give back to our families. Worked through the grant, received the grant for $15,000, and thus we created our community food pantry. What this is our students run this food pantry on a monthly basis, starting in September, hopefully to continue through the summer. It will continue into next year, but we service about 35 to 40 families a month in which we help them with food. Mrs. Marsico, Mrs. Campbell are our two teachers who run this, and our students manage it. And it really, of all the things that I think we've done over the last 5 years, this is one of the things I'm most proud of how our kids, our staff are giving back to our community for really just a small cost. And again, it's not a lot of families, but it's 35 to 40 families that are in need, and so thankful and proud that we're able to do that. We have continued partnership on that mental wellness and social wellness side of things, Ohio Guidestone, Crossroads Health. We have the creation of our Family Resource Center, and we're hoping to enter into an agreement with Metro Health Hospital in the next 2 or 3 months, and where we can partner with Metro Health and hopefully provide opportunities for our families and really our greater community to access Metro Health. Examples could be Metro Health coming to the high school and providing opportunities for athletic physicals for our students. Those are some of the things that we want to reduce, those barriers that prevent our students or our families from accessing that next level. So we're very excited, and again, I'll recognize Mrs. Jones for her work on this. This has been an ongoing process over 2 years, Paula, and we're close to finalizing what that looks like. But again, we're going to start small, but again, just increasing that partnership to help our families. I will end with just some of the scope of work with the renovation. Renovations actually begin in about 6 weeks. So on May 19th, we are starting the project of renovating our main gymnasium. And what I'll do is I'm going to show you just some renderings, and we can go from there. This will be the new main gymnasium. This past weekend, we were fortunate to kind of have 3 activities going on at once, providing an opportunity for alum, graduates, community members, parents, whoever it may be, to come in and tour the high school before the renovations begin. I didn't think we were going to get the response. We had about 100 people come through for those tours. So just a great way to bring tradition back and folks back into the district. We had a spring craft fair that was sponsored by our post-prom. And then I'm going to give kudos to Mrs. Valenza and Mr. Lees there in terms of we had a spring egg extravaganza. I believe we have the Easter Bunny is in the house somewhere. I don't know where he's at, but thank you to the individual who was the Easter Bunny. State Rep Glassburn was there in terms of, just coming to see, things we have going on in the district. And so, again, just very excited. Any way we can bring our community into our school district to see the great things we have going on. And this is now going to, I was voluntold that this is now something we're going to be doing every year, but it's just another way for us to engage with our families and our community. Hoping that, then again, these are renditions for the front of the board office area. And so, obviously, what a big, a dramatic change in the front of the school district. And again, that was the Board of Education. One of the things they really wanted us to do with this bond issue is to make sure that when you're traveling down Bidoff Road, that you can see what impact that renovation had on the district. And so these are some of the things that we're thinking about. So looking at our new Performing Arts Center, our auditorium has obviously so much history in the area and really the nation with some of the individuals that performed there, but looking at really renovating our auditorium, it really is a hub of a lot of things we do. We often have outside groups trying to come in and use our auditorium, so we're hoping that this will be another attraction for our city and school district. Entrance at the back of the high school by the main gym. Obviously, we'll be doing some classroom renovations. Here's our new biology lab. We'll be redoing 3 of our biology labs. We'll be redoing on top of the auditorium all of our music wings. So this is our band and choir area. And then very excited for the opening of our Brooklyn Early Childhood Center, our new preschool, and obviously with the library move into the new facility right across the street here, we were very fortunate to be able to take that current building, that current facility, and turn it into a building use, and just so excited that we're going to be able to house our preschoolers there, our staff there, and this will also be some of the areas where we have Family Resource Center activities, but it will also be the home of all of our future board meetings. So there'll be an area very similar to this in terms of where we have our board meetings. And again, we want to make this an opportunity for community engagement and allowing other groups to come in and use this facility. I've talked long enough, but I do want to thank our board, Mayor Van Kirk, Brooklyn City Council, State Rep Glassburn, Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce, our staff, our administrators, our parents, families, our students for this opportunity. Mayor, I will invite you to the new Early Childhood Center next year, and we can do this event there, and hopefully we can go every other year and make it. But thank you so much. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. But thank you very much.
When I first took over back in January of 2023, I made it a point to meet with Dr. Caleris, one of the first people that I met with outside of my own staffing, and we've met every month since then. And the collaboration has been absolutely fantastic with the schools. I've made friends over at the schools, at least I think they're friends. Over at the schools, I've been able to attend quite a few events with them. I was able to be in the district and the building for the Right to Read Week a couple of weeks ago to hang out with the 5th graders and the 1st graders for a little bit. I had a lot of fun there. I also want to thank the school district. This is not in my slides this morning, but for allowing us to use the soccer space next to the stadium over on Hurricane Alley. For many years, our soccer programs for our kids was over on Marquardt Park. The fields are great, but the parking over there is not the best, and our residents had to deal with a lot of extra traffic over there. So talk to Dr. Caleris about allowing us to potentially move our youth soccer over to Hurricane Alley, the space next to the football field. Very generous, allowing us to do that. We partnered to regrass that area, and now that is our soccer area over there. So it's provided some much relief for the people over at Marquardt Park, and I know they're grateful for it. So just little issues like that that we're able to partner with, and of course pick up the phone and call when we have things. It's been really outstanding. I'm very much looking forward to graduation here in a couple of weeks. So Mary Jo, if you could switch it back over to the slides. Thank you so much for being here this morning. I really am honored to serve in this capacity and to present the state of the city. Really what you're going to see is the hard work that is reflected by the Brooklyn team. And we have a lot of outstanding people that work here. Really, Brooklyn is a thriving community. We have seen a lot accomplished here in the last quite a few years. And really many thanks to the employees, the city council. We've worked very, very well together. I'm very appreciative of the work that council has done. Pretty much any idea that I've had, I've been able to vet with council. And for the most part, they've been very supportive of the things that we wanted to do. We did an analysis a couple of years ago on all of our departments, did some additional hiring. And it really does take a team and a group effort to see those things accomplished. And so I'm very grateful for that. And as you'll see in today's presentation, Brooklyn is doing very well. We are actively pursuing a better quality of life for every single person in our community. We strive for that each and every day. So hopefully maybe you'll see that. If not, you'll hear about it through. So I apologize. Technology is great until it's not, right? So we'll take a brief look at what took place in 2024. Of course, Mary is here from there. We go. Mary is here from the library. Well, we had it there for a second. Mary is here from the library, but in November of last year, November 16th, we were able to have the ribbon cutting ceremony over at the library. It was cold that day, but it was a great event, and there were so many people that were there that put such hard work into that. And I've been to the library numerous times since then. I would encourage residents, if you have not been over there, please go see Mary and her outstanding team. And they're doing a great job over there. I know a big highlight is the new playground that's inside there. I have a 6-year-old son who has visited it numerous times and loves it. And I am kind of partial to the fireplace on the other side. All right, but it really is a highlight of our city. Dr. Caleris alluded to it a moment ago that the old library is now being transitioned into education space. And so we thank the library for the partnership with that. And really to have the library right across the street from the city center here is really making Memphis Avenue the central portion of the city of Brooklyn. So that was obviously a huge highlight from last year. Of course, in our various departments, the public safety is the utmost importance in my administration. I've made that abundantly clear since the beginning. We've did a thorough analysis of all of our departments, but in the police and fire, that saw quite a few changes over the last couple of years. But throughout last year, we continue hiring additional police officers. We added brand new equipment and vehicles. We did hire a new clerk of courts, Rosa. She joined us this past year, and she is outstanding. If you've not met her, make sure you say hi. She's just right out these doors to your left as you walk out, and she's really done a great job in our courts office and, of course, the new police equipment as well. We were able to partner with the federal government for some new police vehicles. We were able to receive some funding for those. Through Congressman Max Miller's office. And then last year, we applied through Senator Sherrod Brown's office, and we were put through the first round, but they don't vote on stuff anymore in D.C., it seems like, and so that's still sitting out there, but we appreciate the work that Congressman Miller did to allow us to get some of that new police equipment. On the fire side, I don't typically talk a lot about numbers when it comes to public safety, but I thought this number was incredible. Our firefighters and paramedics responded to almost 3,600 requests for service last year. And of course, my office sits right here on Memphis Avenue, and the police and fire are right here, and I hear them going up and down Memphis Avenue all the time. And our response times in this city are some of the best anywhere. When you call 911, an emergency personnel either from the police department or the fire department will be there in about 2 minutes, if not less than that. And our residents very much appreciate that, as do our businesses. And of course, not only do they get there quickly, they also do an outstanding work. Our fire department has an ISO rating of 2, and that means nothing to most of you in here unless you're in public safety or have a family member who is. But of the 2,000 fire departments in the state of Ohio, only 117 of them receive that rating. And I meet with the fire union every quarter just to have a labor management meeting, and they are already putting in place to try to get an ISO 1 rating next year. And I love the fact that they're always trying to improve. And of course, that just is advantageous to the quality of life to here in the city of Brooklyn. We also had some changes in our service department. We hired some additional personnel, able to purchase some new equipment with some grants there. You see the brand new garbage truck. I know, doesn't that look pretty? All right, going up and down our streets. And of course, we're very much striving to keep the city of Brooklyn beautiful. We partner with the Tree City USA. We've been part of that for over 40 years. And we continue to implement this tree planting and trimming as we go throughout our city. So again, just trying to provide better quality of life for the people that live here in the city of Brooklyn. Some other community highlights, I could spend all day talking about what took place, but of course this is in collaboration with the schools as well. The city hosts Arbor Day. I get to hang out with the third graders from Brooklyn schools as well as St. Thomas More and Heritage Christian School for a little bit. We get our tree guy out there who hates talking in front of people, but he does a great job with it. We plant a couple of trees and just kind of teach children the importance of having them here. Recreational baseball, now I'm going to brag a little bit. This is my baseball team that I got to coach last year. And I've been able to coach for the last 3 seasons, Brooklyn baseball, and we won the championship last year. So very proud of our young men. My son plays on that team. But this year, recreational baseball is growing even more. We're actually going to have a couple of teams at each of the levels this year, which is outstanding. As Dr. Caleris talked about, getting the youth involved outside of the classroom is so important. And of course, that's what our rec center is all about. We have our annual trick or treat that kids and adults come to get free candy. It's a lot of fun. There's some kids with a couple of our police officers. Christmas lights, decorating contest that we have every year. The library opening, of course, highlight of the summer is the Memorial Day Parade. So just some highlights that took place here in the city last year. We also were pleased to add some new businesses to our community. Primarily on the east side of town is where we saw a lot of it. This past year, Aspen Dental opened up its doors right there on Bidoff Road, Bidoff and Ridge. New grocery outlet opened up in Ridge Park Square, Sarku Japan as well in Ridge Park Square. That DNR Playland is actually their second location. They opened up in Bidoff Plaza. Of course, we already mentioned the library opened up as well. Then Key Bank did not open up a new facility here, but they are really bringing a lot of people into the Key facility over on Tiedemann Road. They continue to populate that building. We see our numbers increasing over there. So not only do we have a strong community when it comes to individuals that live here, we also have a thriving business community. And really the income tax that is derived from these individuals that work in these places really is the backbone of the finances for our city. And so we have a very strong partnership with these businesses. I meet or speak with quarterly with some of the main top employers in our city, just to keep that relationship open and the conversation going. And so we're very blessed to have a very strong business community here as well. So that's kind of a look back at what took place in 2024. We'll talk a little bit about what's going on today, right? And of course, all this stuff is predicated on having funding to be able to do the things that we're doing. The city does have a very strong fund balance. As of the beginning of this year, we had just under $38 million in all of our funding. Of course, we're in a very strong position financially. Mr. Raguse and his team do an outstanding job of making sure that the city finances stay where they are. They won the Auditor States Award for the 5th time in the last 6 years. For 2024, we have a representative from the Auditor State's office here with us today. She was here to present that award a couple of weeks ago. And this award is only given to about 4% of the 6,000 entities that are eligible for it. So Mr. Raguse and his team do an outstanding job. We've been able to have a strong economic development fund. We've been able to set aside a rainy day fund, as well as set aside funds for the recreational expenditures that are taking place in the city this year. We were able to build this building. We did borrow for it, but we were able to secure interest rates at 1.75%, which of course saves the taxpayers a lot of money and not having to pay a lot of interest. And the city does hold very little debt. And that is by design, and we attempt to pay for all the things that are going on in our city with cash. And typically, if we don't have enough funding to do that, we will move the project to a later time. But we have used debt here in recent years to accomplish some of the things that we're able to see, but it's been on a very limited basis. So what are the plans for 2025? Well, there's a lot going on. We have a lot planned. Right behind City Hall, next to City Hall, is our auditorium. We are doing a complete overhaul of that facility. It's a 2-phase plan. The first one is to do the interior of the pool side as well as the exterior facade. And this is just a rendering of what the main entrance in the middle of that building will look like this year or into next year as that's completed. We're going to put a turn lane on Memphis Avenue onto Tiedemann. We're also doing a complete upgrade at Veterans Memorial Park. That work has already begun. This is a rendering of what the brand new pavilion up there will look like. It'll be a 3-season pavilion that'll be able to use even in colder months. It'll be heated on the inside, and it'll be a major upgrade to what we have there now. That entire park will be upgraded, and that project, as I mentioned, has already started. We are installing a new dog park here in the city of Brooklyn. If you have dogs, that appeals to you. If it doesn't, well, then you don't have to listen for the next 30 seconds or so. But this is one of the things that came out of our master plan that residents would like to see a dog park. We are going to install that next to the service garage. The work on that has already begun as well. We are also going to doing a refresh of Brock Memorial Park, doing some right-of-way improvements along Brook Park Road. Of course, we'll have our annual paving program that we do every year. We're also going to be enhancing some of the city entrances. This is a rendering of what it will look like when you travel under the Lindale Bridge into Brooklyn. I'll be doing brand new landscaping over there, a new sign. And we'll also be doing something that'll show a picture here at the other end of our city as well. And then lastly, a new program that we're adding is we're reinstating the senior grass cutting program. And the city did away with this a number of years ago. And in conversations with our service director and council, we decided to bring that program back. And so 2025 will be the first time that our seniors are able to take advantage of that program. And at least a decade, I think, is the last time that we had that. So again, just trying to enhance the quality of life of residents here in the city. As we plan for the future, some exciting things that are taking place, some of them will start this year, some of them a little bit later. But for the first time in nearly 30 years, the city of Brooklyn will be building new housing. There are 3 different locations in the city, 2 that are city-owned, 1 that's private, that'll be developed, and 60 brand new state-of-the-art townhomes that you see a rendering of there will be built in the city. They are already preparing to do that. That work will begin sometime this summer. We'll start seeing ground being moved and those going up. And again, this just allows for more options for our residents and for those that are looking for something different. Most of the houses in the city of Brooklyn were built in the 1950s and 1960s, and primarily outside of a couple of exceptions, that's kind of how the housing has stayed since that time, which is fine. That's fine. But we want to be able to offer more options. Putting these townhomes in will enable us to do that. There'll be 60 or so of them once they are all completed. Traffic calming has been a topic of conversation quite a bit over the last several years. It probably has been for forever. I've only been mayor for a couple of years. And so we've implemented a traffic calming policy, and we're going to start seeing some of that traffic calming being implemented throughout the city. This is another entrance. This is the entrance to our city that's actually on the corner of Ridge and Memphis. Some new landscaping there and a new sign will be going in this year or next year as well. And then the second phase of the natatorium upgrade, the first phase will be done in this year and next year. And then as we have the funding for it, we'll now then move outside. We'll be adding an additional leisure pool as well as a splash pad as funds allow to our recreation center. And again, those are all plans for the future. So a lot of this, practically everything that we've been doing over the last 3 or 4 years has been a direct result of our master plan that we partnered with the county back in 2020. And we just signed the contract with the Planning Commission, and we're going to be upgrading that plan. And that'll take place throughout this year with some new goals and new action items. Typically, plans are updated every 10 years. But Brooklyn has been able to see so much growth and so much improvement and leverage towards finishing that plan. In meeting with the Planning Commission, they highly recommended that we upgrade the plan so that it didn't become stale. And so we will begin that process in partnership with all the team members here in City Hall, of course, City Council. And so it's very exciting to see what we established back in 2020, all of those things coming to fruition, and now being able to upgrade that plan and see things moving forward. It just shows the strength of the city of Brooklyn, and I'm very proud to be a part of it. Another exciting thing that we just started here recently is I started a podcast. And I know it's joked that everyone has a podcast now. Well, now I have one too. And it's called Brooklyn, Ohio Today. And we started it, actually episode 7 just dropped this morning. And you can find it on all the podcast platforms. But the main purpose behind it was just to have active communication with residents, to be able to speak with them directly about topics of conversation that were going on. The police chief, Melky, is here. He was my first interview. I think that's episode 2. Dr. Caleris has been on it. All right. He was episode 3. I would want to highlight his episode. We talked a lot more in detail about the school levy, as well as some other issues that are important to the school district. And so you can go on any of the podcast platforms and listen to that. Also, the school board president, Kelly Krull, she will be on with me on April 30th. And that's the podcast that will take place right before the May 6th election. And we talk all about the levy and how it's important to the residents. This is a unique levy, and I won't go into that, but it's a unique levy. I would strongly encourage residents to support it. But this is just a way to talk to residents about what's going on in our city. We'll give some city updates at the beginning of the podcast. We'll have an interview portion where we talk to various people, what's going on in the city, and just, again, to keep residents informed. So if you like to listen to podcasts, they're only about 15 or 20 minutes long, so I would encourage you to take a listen to that. As we move forward into 2025 and beyond, a lot of things going on. I'm not going to go spend a lot of time on these, but we want to maintain the quality services that we provide here in our city. Brooklyn has been known for years for having quality services, and we want to continue to enhance that. We want to continue building stronger partnerships with our business community, as well as welcome new businesses into the city of Brooklyn. We want to continue doing our streets program. We have some of the best streets in the county. There's no question about that. That's not a knock on any of the cities around us. Ours are just better. And we continue to work on that with our engineer, with our team, and we'll continue doing that moving forward. Again, I already mentioned this, but the natatorium phase 2, we want to do some interchange improvements at I-480 and Ridge. Most people think that when you get off of I-480 that you're in Brooklyn. When you're heading west, you're not. You're in Cleveland. But we are in partnering with the city of Cleveland as well as ODOT to do some improvements on that exit ramp, just like we did over on Tiedemann and 480. It won't be quite to that extent, but we will be working with those two entities to get that area cleaned up over there and to further enhance those entrances into our city. Again, the traffic calming implementation will continue to take place throughout the city. We call this the Kingdom Trail. For those of you that live in Brooklyn, you know exactly what I'm talking about. For those that don't, there's a piece of property that's located next to our fire station that the city owns. It's all wooded. We started to put trails in there a couple of years ago, and we're going to finish those trails in the coming years, and it'll be a beautiful space for our residents to be able to enjoy nature and walk around. And of course, to update our master plan moving forward as well. And then next year, America will celebrate its 250th birthday, and the city has some exciting things that we are in the planning stages of to celebrate with the rest of the country for America's 250th anniversary. And of course, it's not on this slide, but we also want to continue developing our relationship with the schools. I know it's been mentioned many times, but I appreciate Dr. Caleris. I appreciate the school board, the support they give to the city. We want to continue that collaboration. And yeah, there it is. There's the picture of Dr. Caleris and I before we did our interview there the other day. So the theme of Brooklyn is moving forward together, and that certainly is our goal. You know, a lot's been accomplished this year, a lot more that will take place and moving forward. We want to continue improving the quality of life for every single person that lives in our city. It truly is an honor, and I'm not just saying this to serve as the mayor of Brooklyn. I enjoy coming to work every day and to be able to try to make the lives of the people that live and work in our city much better. I want to thank all of the directors. I want to thank all of the employees, our city council, the businesses of our city, the residents who make up, and most importantly, the residents who make Brooklyn such a wonderful place to live. So thank you so much for being here today, Dr. Caleris. Thank you so much for joining us for this joint State of the City and the Schools. As he mentioned, we'll be over in the new old library space with a new education space for the school next year. So thank you so much for being here, for being a part of today's presentation. Thank you.